Can't believe it. Here we go. We've made it to the old telegraph track. Surely it's got to be Australia's most iconic track, if not very close to. Maybe I should have just brought a boat for this track instead. Oh God, help me. Always a good sign when there's a number for towing at the crossing. We have made it. After a few days travel, we're up far north Queensland, big Cape York trip. The CREB track is a very steep and rough four-wheel drive track. Many vehicles have become stranded. First track of the trip, about maybe 2 hours north of Cairns, up in the Daintree. Now we have an immediate issue. It wasn't too bad back at the coast, but as we've come up here, the ground has started to get a bit wet, and this track is steep, red, slippery clay hills. So we're going to cross the Daintree River here, then we're going to head up and check it out. If it looks too slippery, we're going to have to go back, but we're out here now, so we'll go check it out and see what it's like. I don't know, like, if you can still get up the hills when it's slippery, or if it's just a complete no-go. Crocodiles inhabit this area. That's the first crossing there across the Daintree, meaning do not probably walk it. I'll send the drone up to film this first crossing. Well, you just send Kai out if you're not sure there's crocs.
No, you don't. No, don't send me.
Alright, here we go across the Daintree River. It's obviously fresh water here now. And I've seen people do this crossing. It looks like they kind of scoot around. I just got the drone up here, scoot around the side a bit and then come back up. It's not as deep. It's a nice rocky bottom. I haven't aired down yet. I'm just going to wait to see what the track's like up here on the first couple of hills and then air down if need be. We got this only just across the river here. Is a bit of a mud hole and a steep climb up out of it, so I might check and walk this first just to be sure. So we got our first problem here. You got a little muddy crossing and then a very slippery muddy exit up out of it. That's the track around. There is a main one up there which is just like a vertical bank, so that's a guaranteed winch job. We're hoping we can drive this one. Do you have lockers? You nearly had that then. Yeah, it's very slippery. If you had a tiny bit more, you'd get it. Got there. That's that first bit done. It didn't actually air down yet. I'm going to wait till we get to this first hill and then air down if we're going to continue on this track. Otherwise I'm just going to have to air back up here again in 10 minutes. It wasn't too bad, but the track now gets steep. It's not raining or anything out here, and there's a bit of blue sky around, but it just had rain overnight. That's the issue. That was the other option down there. So that was the main track. That was Odingo. That's just like a vertical slippery bank there, which is no way you're driving up out of. Now I haven't actually said yet, it's just Kai and I on basically a solo 2-week adventure from Cairns up to the tip and back. And yeah, this is where we're starting off in the Daintree on the CREB track. Now we do have a local joining us for the day today. He sort of helped me out with a bit of information for this trip and stuff like that, and He'll help me out with a few stuff today and take off those pre-trip nerves. There's a bit of help on the first track, and then yeah, after this we're solo the whole way up. Alright, here we go on the first hill. Here he comes now. Hop off, further car. That wasn't too bad, the first hill. So we sort of read the track conditions report this morning. It said it is a bit wet out here. It said if you can get up this first hill without any problems, then you can probably continue and see what it's like. So if you have problems on this first hill, definitely don't keep going. But yeah, that was all good and easy. Well, it's so muggy and steamy here, but I'm going to go down and air my tyres and I'll bring the nav up. But yeah, we'll have no problems on this one. Alright, I have aired the tyres down to 15, it's all good so far. Just sort of cruising along second or third, holding a bit of momentum. It's a bit of a rutted out section here in front of us here. Holy dooly, that is slippery. Like, you watch, like, my feet, this ain't even that steep. Like, I cannot even, like, walk up it. Just trying to walk up this stuff is insane, but yeah, bit of a rutted out section there, so I'll film that bit. That's where things started to get bloody slippery. You didn't even see after the camera then, but I was like second gear flat, just ripping that steering wheel back and forth trying to get traction. But I got up at first go. I was in second low with the rear locker in. I kind of wish I was in third, that would have helped me more, but yeah, you can just see it's so muddy over here. Alright, so it's all happening now. After I just flew that drone quickly there, we only got a bit further down towards this creek. There's someone who camped down on it last night there, trying to get up out of it now. And this is what happens out here. This is why there's so many warnings about this place, because you've got steep, red, slippery clay hills, and you know, he's in a sort of stock standard ute road tyres. Just no chance. I don't know how he's going to go getting out of this rest of this track, but we got to winch him up this bit. So winch attached there, and then attach my car onto the back of the cruiser, just so we got two vehicles, otherwise the cruiser's just going to go sliding down. But yeah, that's currently what's happening. Down the bottom now, it's just absolutely magical down here. What a place out in the Daintree, out in the middle of the forest. Sun's out as well. These creeks are incredible. No crocs in these ones, well, I think. So Daintree, the first one, don't go in that, but these are little creeks up in the mountains. They're beautiful. Nice camp spot over there too. That's where the guy camped last night. Just pulled up. There's 3 4-wheel drives coming behind us, so we might let them through. Might have a swim here and then continue on, but wow, what a place. Finished up lunch here at this beautiful spot. That sun is so warm. This climate is just worlds apart from back down where I'm from in New South Wales. This feels like summer weather up here, but had a swim, enjoyed some lunch. Now we're going to keep going. Those 3 vehicles in front of us, they already tried and they couldn't, so they're now back at this river. They don't have winches, so they can't winch up out of there, so they're kind of in a little bit of a world of hurt because they're kind of now stuck down in this river. So both ways out of here are pretty gnarly. Sun's out, so it is drying. So they may have to hang around for a bit. We're going to go and winch it probably. 30 metres from the creek, and this is where the fun begins. Now it's very hard to film this section and basically just the whole CREB track the whole way along because of how slippery it was. It was so hard getting up and down the hills to move the camera around. Meaning I wasn't able to get as much footage as I would have liked. Kai was up there taking some photos and managed to snap a few of me literally crawling the winch rope up the hill on my hands and knees. That's how slippery it was. And with the dense rainforest all around you, it's very hard to get through up on the sides of the track as well. We spent a long time there trying to set up and get that winch rope organised.
This is without a doubt the slipperiest place I've ever been. Next level.
Oh, I've never been on anything this slippery in my life. It is absolutely incredible. You can't even walk it. But yeah, I've never seen anything this slippery in my life. The problem is, like, we can't even walk the track to set up the winch. Like, you're trying to crawl the track on your hands and knees. Hopefully that, like, there's nothing worse than this, otherwise we're going to be in for a fun-filled afternoon / night getting out of here.
Like, I'm hoping that
if there's 3 more sections like this,
yeah,
10 more sections like this,
yeah,
yes. If there's no more coming for ya.
this is just insane. So slippery. So now the creek and washed up, just driven the cruiser there, and now we start the winching. Holy dooly, we're both up. It wasn't too bad. It was probably about an hour to get both vehicles up that section there. This sun is beaming now and this track's drying out fast. Like, that's easy to walk on when we first got here, so we're hoping as it dries out we can drive the rest. But you never know with this stuff. Need another creek. I'm that muddy and I'm trying not to get the car too muddy because I got, like, obviously 3 weeks on the road or whatever. It's beautiful out here in the rainforest. Quite thick canopy above you in a lot of places, which is why it can take a few days to dry out after rain. Yeah, we'll keep on punching on. I know we got the biggest hill to come. That's the second creek crossing for the track. Just these beautiful creeks out here in the rainforest. Amazing. There's all this rainforest out around us. It's so muggy out here. It's definitely rainforest climate. Current situation is, this is Bob's Hill, I think it was, hardest hill on the track. There is a bypass track around it, but in classic Tyler form I've decided to go down it, go the hard way down. Guy's like, wow. But yeah, I wouldn't want to probably come up it now, but it's dried out a fair bit, plenty of grip on it. I'll just navigate my way down. It looks like some big holes and ruts in this thing. obviously first gear low, put that rear locker in to help control that rear end. Oh yeah, this is very steep, like very steep. Well,
If you can.
yeah. It's not even slippery like it's not, there's a bit of slip there, but like it's just that steep that you're nearly like it's just letting go on you. Sometimes I wonder why I do this to myself. Alright, out of that monstrosity, that's apparently the hardest hill on the track, and you don't have to do it, you can go around that one. We got one more monster hill climb apparently, like a big long one that we're just trying to make sure we get out of before any more rain comes. As long as it's dry it's fine, but if we get like a big shower now or something, then it could be in for trouble. That is slippery. It sort of caught me out because we're just cruising along, then all of a sudden you'll hit a slippy bit, and I was in second low. I just put my foot down and I was sending the wheel over the place, crawled my way up it. Yeah, I just came back down to film the big cruiser. Alright, here's the big one. It is long, steep, slippery. One good tip is to wind your windows up, otherwise you get a car full of mud. So I'm going to go rear locker in, I'm going to go third gear low and just pin it. Now, people who say, oh, just put your tyres down and crawl it, I can tell you now, come out here in the wet and you'll see that is not possible. I'm at 14-ish PSI, there's no way you can crawl up this stuff. This is just send it up. Good thing is it's reasonably smooth. I can probably back up in there to get some momentum. I don't think I'll drive it from where I am. I'm right to keep going back.
Yeah, definitely.
It's hard to get up to third.
Yeah.
Get up on the road. Man, this is insane. Alright, this is, oh, look at this bit. Get up, get up, get up. Come on, man. Where do I stop? Everyone's way down, back down the road there. Woo! Holy dooly. That is 1-0. Oh, come on, get up, get up, get up. Oh, stay on the road. Oh, it's just all over. Oh, look at this thing. It's just, you gotta be kidding me, man. This thing keeps going. It's insane. Oh, we might pull up here. I think I can get going from here. Wow. Unbelievable. That was absolute madness. Oh, I've never done anything like that before. That was, I'm not even at the top yet. I pulled up there. I'm hoping I can get going again. I found a spot that doesn't look too bad, but I just didn't want to keep going. That took me about 15 minutes to walk back to the camera and Kai, who's out here taking photos. That was just third gear, rear locker in, basically redline. The car was starting to get a little bit of heat there when I got up the top. But, oh, that's insane. How's this for views? But what an incredible place. You know, there's heaps of warnings about the CREB track and like, do not do it in the wet, like stranded vehicles, chaos. Yeah, that is very serious. Like today, it hasn't really rained much today. A couple of showers, like it was wet from last night and then we've had a couple of showers on today, but it's been mostly sun and it's just like so slippery. If you were out here when it was actually like raining, decent rain, there's no way. I cannot see you are getting out of here, whatever you drive. Like, yeah, I can't film this whole hill. Like, it's just way down the bottom there and then way up the mountain behind me. Just have to choose a section to film. Someone else who just abandoned their car on this hill. Guess they couldn't get up. You can hear the big V8 roaring down there in the canopy somewhere. We've got to get ready to get out of the way here in a sec. Alright, out of the way, quick. You can just hear him just roaring up there. What a place, hey? How's that for a hill and mountains and that? We got a fair walk back to the car. How much further past my car did you go?
Fair way. I've come up over this crest and I've like just made it over and I've slipped down to the right into a washout. I'm okay. I just probably, I don't know if I need a winch out of it or what.
Yeah, okay. Best for me, I can't really drive up behind you, hey? Best to walk up?
So at this stage.
Looks like he slid off the track a bit further up. Damn it, might need to go up and help.
If I got up over here and I wasn't, didn't slip into that,
yeah,
I'd be up there.
You could try. Yeah, it's slippery, eh? Would you fall over again, or?
A couple of times.
Do you reckon that front would potentially follow that bank around?
I'm wondering if I just put it in all lockers.
Yeah, and it
might just drive it around.
That bank might push it around.
It could, yeah.
You could try that first, because not like really.
No.
You can't make it any worse, really.
No, well.
Well, we can try find out.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's really slippery up here again.
So slippery.
Yeah, it's going to be probably hard to get going now, I reckon. Well, we can winch if you want. I just don't know how far we're going to have to winch you. That's the only problem. Like, there's no going slow on this. No. There'll be someone on the video that'll tell me to drop the tyre pressures and crawl it. winch again from there?
I have to, yeah.
Yeah. Just gonna grab his camera. Well. Oh. That's unbelievable. We're nearly at the top. I think he's got one more winch to go, so he's going to do the last winch himself, and then he's at the top. I'll start walking back down to my car. Sounds like once we get to the top, we're mostly clear of all the hills. We got to descend down the other side, which will be slippery, but that should be all right. Hopefully, just have to be very careful, and then yeah, hopefully it's the last of the winching. All right, I'll give it a crack.
It's gonna be fun.
Not really going to be able to film this. Well, I could, but it's just way too hard trying to get the camera on down hills. I got the GoPro on the bonnet. I got this one. Just gonna hold on now, really lock her in for the ride of our lives, and I'm going to try and get this thing to the top of this hill. Whew, I'm a bit nervous. Here we go.
I'm gonna see your steering wheel just like be like turning crazy.
Ah, yes, we still got momentum up through this.
I'm just looking at the steering wheel.
Go. Popped up the top here to this awesome lookout, some spectacular views out that way where the sun's going down, and then out there behind us. Oh man, what a day. That track was crazy. I think we're in the clear now. We just got a downhill bit and that's not too bad. Look at some of the mud on this car. Like look, like as I was coming up here, like there's just big chunks of mud falling out everywhere. Like that's up what the wheel arches look like up in there. That's insane. That's probably it's got to be the muddiest, slipperiest track I've ever done. And just big hills, you just flat, or like that. How big do you reckon that? Like how long do you reckon that last hill was? That'd have to be 700-800 meters or something. Yeah. That's a long way, and you're just like third gear flat the whole way up. Yeah. I think that was just crazy. We're very keen for a swim this morning after yesterday's ordeal. After we came down off that lookout, we sort of, by the time we came down off there, it was getting dark, and we just grabbed a bush camp up off the end of the CREB track there. And then this morning, had a bit of brekkie, and then we've come down to this river, which I don't even know what river it is, but we've come down for a swim and a bit of a clean up. It's so hot out here, so unlike my usual madness swimming in freezing conditions, it's actually like you really want to swim, you're sweating, and the water's really nice and warm. Once again, a croc-free river, obviously up in the top of the Daintree. My whole body is so sore from yesterday. My feet are just covered in cuts and bruises from walking around barefoot. My legs are like killing from running up and down those hills all day and trying to like walk up them in how slippery they were. So we're going to relax in this water for a while and try and recuperate. That swim is so nice. Kai's getting in for all these swims as well, so you know the water's warm.
We're by ourselves now, so the rest of this Cape trip is going to be a solo one. I hurt my shoulder yesterday somehow as well. That's really sore. I felt it in bed last night. I'm hoping that goes away. I tell you what, that track yesterday is no joke. Like, that needs to be taken very seriously in the wet. If it had have started raining when we were out there yesterday, we could have been in real trouble. I've just never seen anything that slippery in my life. And like, once you get into the track, like, because it's up and down through the whole track, like once you get in there, it'd be that easy to get stranded in there if you're not prepared. Like, if you got winches and that, you could winch yourself out probably. It'd be just like a couple of days of winching though. But yeah, that's just like, yeah, you can see why so many people get stranded there. They do have people getting stranded in there, and then they'll get them out by helicopter. They won't recover their vehicles. You have to leave your vehicle in there till it gets dry. I do not recommend going in there when it's like really wet or there's rain coming, and that's just not going to end well for you. Both cars were 33-inch mud tyres. I was running mine at about 14-15 psi. I had the rear locker, and then the cruiser was twin locked. Here's the main map I've got for this trip, the HEMA Cape York one. That's where we started our journey a couple of days ago. We came down from New South Wales. It's about a 2,000 kilometre drive to get here, so it was a fair mission. And then this is what we did yesterday. So you got Cairns, then up here in the Daintree National Park, up at Daintree there. And then the CREB track is this one here, there it is, CREB track that runs up through this national park. So I don't know, we're up around the end of it here somewhere at the moment. Then today we're going to head down in here towards, is it Wujal, Bloomfield, and then head up in towards Cooktown. And then, I don't know, the rough plan, might head up through this Lakefield National Park and then start heading up towards the top. This is my first ever time up to Cape York. We're just going to try and tick off a few of those big bucket list tracks this trip. Start with the CREB, going to do like the Telly track, Frenchman's track, Old Coach Road, do right up the tip, you know, see how we go on the way. Start making our way up out of here now, down towards that Bloomfield and then up into Cooktown.
How's all this rain? You know how they say, you know, there's like heaps of warnings about the CREB.
That was so nice and refreshing. That swim was so nice. Look, when it's properly wet and there's rain, or there's like all this rain coming, because it's just both cars were 33-inch mud tyres. The nav. All right, here's the main map I've got for this trip, the HEMA Cape York. Here's the main.